guys, and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name is Celeste and I'm a high school counselor, and this is
Lacey. I'm a middle school teacher, and today is actually a special day because it is me and my husband's second anniversary. Still in that newlywed phase, but I figured I would just sit down and share our story, and Celeste is helping me because she very much was an important part. If you're new here, my husband is Celeste's cousin, so she really started everything. And of course, being best friends, I shared, everything with her. So I'm just gonna kind of do this Q&A style, answer some questions. She'll answer some questions of the behind the scenes stuff.
all right. Let's get started.
So the first question is for Celeste.
Okay.
So again, she started everything. She started talking about her cousin to me. So what was the conversation that you had with Octavius, my husband, that kind of started everything? And that was like 2018, guys.
Yes, it was. So Lacey had recently, it had been a few months that she had got out of a relationship. And so with Lacey and I being close, I knew that she was single. And so family dinner, we have family dinner every Sunday at my grandma's house. It's just a tradition if you do not know. And so we were just all sitting around talking to family, and then Octavius had came out, and I was like, you know what? Like, this would be perfect. My best friend and my cousin talking to each other. So I started talking to Octavius. I was like, hey, Octavius, my best friend is from Kennesaw, blah, blah, blah. She's very smart. She's about to be a teacher and all these things. And then I showed a picture of her to him, and he was like, oh, she's cute. She's cute. I was like, okay. And so I think I may have gave him Lacey's number maybe, and they just kind of started from there. So I was just like, I don't know, it just kind of dawned on me. One Sunday we were sitting at dinner, and like I said, Lacey had just got a relationship and they were both single. And so, yeah, that's just kind of how it happened.
And it's kind of funny because at first I was like, because I was in college still, and they lived 3 hours away. Obviously, Celeste moved to Atlanta to go to college. That's how we met. If you didn't know, we went to college together. So I was kind of like, I'm trying to finish this degree, and it's a 3-hour drive to get where he lives. Like, I'm not interested in long distance in this phase of my life. So that next question is, when did we eventually meet? Because again, we did live in different parts of Georgia. So Celeste moved to the Kennesaw area. She went to Kennesaw. So did I. That's how we met and everything. But she is very close to her family. So one weekend, she just was like, hey, do you want to come home with me? So I was like, sure. So I went home with her. I met her family. I had met them once before at her graduation and stuff, but not like that. So I actually spent the whole weekend with them, and that was when we officially met and spent time together, kissed for the first time. But even after that, I didn't think I would be coming regularly to make trips down there, but eventually Celeste moved back home. Of course, I did want to visit her, and then I just kept on coming. And now I live here. And it's just funny because I was like, I'm not interested in long distance. Where is this small town that they're even talking about? I didn't even know where it is, and now I live here. So it's just funny how life works.
It works out for the best.
For sure. So did you ever predict that we would last and get married? Did you really think we were compatible?
So I did think that you guys were compatible, but knowing my cousin, I never thought my cousin would be married.
He always says that too.
Yeah, so that was always shocking to us because he's just always quiet. Not like that he's a bad person. He's just quiet to himself. He doesn't really talk much, but he's a very genuine, good-hearted person. And so we just never looked at Octavius as being married. But I did predict that you guys would last. I just didn't know that you guys would actually be married.
Yeah, and he says that all the time. I can't believe I'm married. He's the first of his homeboys that are married, and they're not anytime soon getting married, if ever. Yeah, it's just kind of funny how that worked out.
Well, not.
Yeah, they won't. It's really funny that he, actually put in the effort, and especially doing long distance, which leads to the next question. How was long distance? So it was a 3-hour drive from where I lived in Atlanta to South Georgia, where you guys all live. So long distance wasn't too bad because he and I are both independent people. I lived by myself. That shows that I, was fine by myself. So I enjoyed having my space, and he's very independent and quiet, like Celeste was saying. So I feel like if we were clingy people, it wouldn't have worked. But we're both very independent. We like our own space, and we did see each other most weekends. He would come sometimes 2 weekends in a row or 3 weekends in a row. And if he couldn't come, then I would come down there. And of course, I'm a teacher, so summertime, I would be here the whole summer. So we definitely saw each other a lot compared to how it could have been. Long distance, honestly, it just depends on your personality. Yeah. Have you ever done long distance?
A little bit, but it wasn't for long.
It can be
long
hard.
Distance is scary to me. And so
it depends on your personality.
Yeah, it depends on your personality. That's so true.
And you have, Preston, and you have more factors.
Yeah, that's so true.
Someone asked, did you have any obstacles, like major obstacles, when dating? So I kind of touched on this in the uncomfortable questions video. Like I just said, long distance was actually fine for us, but we did have some obstacles, I guess, like outside parties kind of being involved in the relationship. I didn't really have the approval of family that you typically would have, especially when you are engaged and marrying that person. You would, love to have family's approval, and I did not. That's kind of a lot on a person to kind of hear people in your ear telling you that that's not right and that's not right and you shouldn't be doing this. So that was a major obstacle because that was from day one, over and over for years. The whole time we were dating, engaged. We started dating like 5 years ago. So this has been going on for a very long time. Yeah. And that is a major obstacle because even though I physically chose to be with him and marry him, like emotionally, that's like a lot on a person to keep hearing, you're doing the wrong thing, you're doing the wrong thing. So that was definitely an obstacle because that just was always in my ear, if that makes sense. And I was very vulnerable with his family and Celeste and everyone, like telling them my family had some reservations and being honest with them about that. I'm not going to get into why, because that's his business. But so we, everyone's aware of my family stuff. So the next question is, how did you feel about my family stuff that I was going through and some of the stuff you would hear?
So I feel that it was heartbreaking to hear because as your friend, obviously, I don't want to hear you having to experience that because these are happy moments. Like you're about to get married, you're engaged. Like those are happy moments and moments that should be celebrated by your family for sure. So it was definitely devastating to hear. But I tried to be supportive. I tried to make sure to be a listening ear and try to make sure to be there for you during that time because I did feel that it was a difficult time for you, especially emotionally.
Yeah. So eventually, of course, we had been together 2 years and eventually he did propose. So the next question is, how did he propose? So as I said, we were about to celebrate our 2-year anniversary. We were going to a seafood restaurant and we walked into that restaurant and Celeste and the whole family was there trying to kind of hide, which, their family's so big. Like once I saw one of them, I knew what was up. So the whole family was there, so I kind of knew what was going to happen. But this boy made us eat the whole meal. Yes. And wait a whole hour until he finally proposed. And he was so nervous. He didn't even eat. He was sweating. So I already knew what was going to happen. But, it was a really sweet moment. And considering how close he is with the family and myself as well, I really think it's sweet that he included everyone and having my best friend there. She actually filmed it, so I will insert that video here. Lacey! And he's so quiet and nervous, so you probably did not hear him in that video, but he did ask me to marry him in the restaurant, and I'm very proud of him. And it was in front of his whole family and at a busiest time of the restaurant. So my question for Celeste is, so you knew the proposal was happening. Yes, what was the behind the scenes plan? Because I don't think I've ever asked you this.
You did not. So I actually found out a few days before And he was saying that he wanted to ask her this weekend, and we was like, okay, like this is totally out of character for my cousin. So hearing him talk about it was just so exciting. But he didn't say much, man of a few words, you already know. So he was just like, hey, seafood restaurant, we're going to Juicy Crab. The family will be there. Come if you can. And of course I would be there, because why wouldn't I? And so, actually the date of, I actually found out a few more details. He was going to get a cake that had like
question mark.
Yeah,
I had a question mark and flowers.
And so, yeah, it was definitely exciting.
So did he's the one who reached out? Like he had a group text or something?
No, he did not have a group text. I think I was on the phone with Nisa.
His mom.
And I think he was there or around, but no, he didn't like have a group message. That's not him.
Yeah, that's not.
I was like, that's not.
It's crazy. Okay, well that's sweet. So
conversation.
That was in 2021. Trying to do all the math. So that was September 2021. We had been dating for 2 years, so they definitely got me there. I'm still mad.
But we had no other choice. Like,
yeah,
we had to make it work.
Yeah, it's just I'm not.
It turned out really cute though. It was such a sweet proposal.
Yeah. So obviously we got engaged, and I was living in Atlanta, and my school year had just started because, like I said, that was September. So I did not move or anything like that until my school year ended. The very end of May, like Memorial Weekend, and then we got married a few weeks later in June. I'm still a rookie. I do not know everything, but the last question is, what is the hardest and easiest part of marriage?
Ooh,
so the easiest, I think, which is like a cheesy answer, is that, that's your partner. Like, it's really easy to talk to him. Like, that's just your person. Like, you feel super comfortable around them. It's your best friend. So that's the easiest part. It's really rewarding and easy, I guess, to see your person every day, and like you just get along so well. It's not even all about the romantic stuff. It's just like the best friendship. You've got to have that. Right. So I would say that's the easiest. And the hardest, I think, for us was just because we were long distance. It was really hard to move in together and not butt heads at first. We talked about this all the time. I was like, I don't know about this now. But I think that's partly because we had not even had any sort of experience living together or even in the same city. So it was from 0 to 100, and of course now we have it figured out. But that first summer, Celeste knows, I was like, dang, we're just arguing about like dumb stuff. Yeah, nothing for real. But that was hard at first, and you have to just keep in mind that you're merging two routines together. We're both adults, we both have a job, we both already had a routine before you moved in together, so you got to figure out how to make it work for both of you. So that's hard, and we're constantly learning that. So that's definitely the hardest part. As you can see, she was very much involved in this. Very much. Yes. So that's really it for the story. Of course, we could share all the specifics and this and that, but that's pretty much the overall, shortened version of our love story. And now we're celebrating 2 years. We have an Atlanta vlog coming on the weekend because he and I will be going up to Atlanta to dress up and get a hotel and go to a nice restaurant and just have a little staycation somewhere not too far. So stay tuned for that vlog for sure.
Lacey, we have enjoyed hearing about you and Octavius' story. We love you guys. I wish you nothing but the best in many, many more years to come and a lifetime to come. But that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, we will see you guys in the next video.
Bye, guys.